And gentlemen, the show is all yours. The OGs are back.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Werid Frequencies. Coming to you live from a cornfield somewhere in central Illinois, deep down in a bunker, deep down underneath this little shaft.
I'm in my guest bedroom.
Yeah, Ray's in his guest bunker.
Yeah, but Rob's in the bunker.
Yeah, Ray's not in the bunker. He's not crazy like the rest of us. And ladies and gentlemen, of course, with me is Tyler, my amazing co-host. But, ladies and gentlemen, Raymond Lytle.
Hello.
Original host. I should have gave him more of an intro than that, but original host of Werid Frequencies. Him and myself and
Awesome
Tyler.
Awesome to be back with, man.
Yeah, and in his own world over there, he's host of Morning Disaster, and he's been a radio legend in Central Illinois for years, and we're really glad to have him on the show to talk about some aliens tonight.
Listen, everybody knows me. I am skeptical on everything.
Right.
I think Bigfoot's bullshit. I think ghosts are bullshit. I think paranormal is bullshit.
Ooh, Tyler, did you hear that?
I'm going to take him ghost hunting one day.
I do, but the one thing, and Rob, you know this, the one thing I have always believed in is, and I used to say, turns out I'm wrong, but I used to say that I believe in UFOs. I believe in, I believe extraterrestrials, and I believe that stuff. We'll talk about later. As it turns out, I might have been wrong, but I've always said, you know, with as big as existence is, you know what I mean? As big as, because it's not just our galaxy anymore. It keeps going on and on and on. So God knows how big existence.
Yeah.
But with all of the different planets and all the different suns, when we look in the sky that we can see, you know, all those suns have planets surrounding them. And so I look at those numbers and I just think it would be impossible for us to be the only planet with life on it. You know that.
Yeah.
So I've always said that I believe that there are people that are more advanced than us that have figured out space travel. And so, yeah, I do believe.
They may have spotted city lights on a planet. I saw something about that.
Not that long
They
ago.
might have spotted like city lights on a planet nearby. I heard about that.
Isn't that freaking crazy?
Well, in the whole, year that you hosted Werid Frequencies, we always, looked at videos, and we were always kind of, we always threw stuff at you. You were always skeptical.
Yeah.
But
I was always skeptical until the Pentagon.
Now, once you left the show, shit hit the fan, dude.
They said, okay, there's something. And then I started reading more, Rob, and I read, and I don't know if you've read it, and I wish I could reference the book. There's a book, and then I read a New York Times article on the book, and it also was talking about the long line of presidents. And when you become president, what happens? And they went back to Jimmy Carter, and they said Jimmy Carter, when he was running for president in 1976, people were still talking about Area 51 and all that stuff. And Carter said, as soon as I'm president, I will reveal what the government knows about Area 51. And then when he became president, he didn't. And everybody wondered why he didn't do it, and he just wouldn't comment on it.
Trump said the same thing.
And Trump said the same thing. And I believe
Bill Clinton said the same thing.
I want to say Clinton.
I want to say Clinton did too. Yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah,
and,
not a peep out of them. Once they got in office, they got a visit from somebody, who was like, "We won't be telling anybody any of this stuff."
And then the article that I read in the New York Times, it mentioned that Jimmy Carter was so, like, he demanded the meeting as soon as he got in. He wanted the meeting, and they said it affected him. And this was from his chief of staff. It said it affected him so much that he sat and cried. He sat and cried in the Oval Office.
Wow,
after
really?
this meeting, and would never talk about it. Yeah, and never talked about it. So whatever it was, it affected him that much. He was crying. Now, what people have assumed and is because, Carter was very, very religious.
Mm-hmm.
Was very religious. So people have, the assumption is that he found out something that made him question the existence of God or something. You know what I mean? Or something. But I don't know what it really was. But
some kind of really bad evil or something.
Whatever they told him, it made him cry. So we know that.
Well, this is the problem, now is, all of those presidents, flat Earth. We're going to talk.
I can't stand flat Earth. I cannot stand flat Earth.
We're going to talk a little bit about that. I want to cover a few topics with Ray before he goes.
Okay,
just throw some questions at you,
Yeah.
But all these presidents have been, running this obviously secret operation, because we know this now, Congress, with what happened in Congress, and these gentlemen came forward and they have videos with
whistleblowers came forward.
The whistleblowers, right? And
the whistleblower,
and they told us that there is a facility with possibly bodies and possibly ships, and they even said that people were killed. People died because of the extraterrestrials that came, and so okay, we know this though, right? We knew this already, right? I mean, Area 51 is whenever it first happened.
Yeah, we had belief. We had a belief.
But we knew though, right? So that is really what happened, I think, right?
I'm saying the whistleblowers
aliens really did drop back in the 50s. But here's the problem.
Whistleblowers confirmed what we thought was happening.
Yep, and here's the problem.
All right.
If they've been lying to us all this time, and there's this big black ops operation going on, it's against the law, and and they're stealing our money and building God knows what with these big old facilities. And you know what? People are sick of it. They're sick of that right there, of being lied to about all this shit. And they're spending our money, right? That's another thing. There's
a bipartisan, and I want to say bipartisan because, you've got congressmen, one side's crazy, one side's not. And the one you think is crazy is whatever party you're not a part of. And so this bipartisan, which means both groups got together after David Grush after the guy came forward during the whistleblower program. The guy came forward and talked about things that he was allowed to say under the whistleblower act, but there was things he had to leave out. And so Congress then went to they went as higher, and they said, we demand a hearing, we demand a meeting to talk about the things that he could not talk about in the public setting. And they recently had that meeting. And congressmen coming out were asked questions about it. And, they were repeating, there were things we could not say. There were things we could not say. But more than one congressman said a word that I want to bring up and get your thoughts on it, is they were asked directly about things, and all they could say is, yes, there have been UAPs. They said, yes, UAPs. As the Pentagon reported, we have had UAPs for a while now over our country. And then they said, is there proof of extraterrestrials? And congressmen in two different interviews said, extraterrestrials is not a word that was used. Extraterrestrials is not. And so they went on to ask more questions, and eventually both of them said, or more than one, I don't know what the total number of people who said it was, but the congressman said, no, I cannot, from what I've heard in these meetings, I cannot confirm any extraterrestrials. And they said, what can you confirm? And they said, there's not a lot we're allowed to talk about. However, if you're using they said, if I can just say using the word extraterrestrial is not correct. However, they said, what word would you use? And they said interdimensional. Interdimensional is the word I would use. And then this was more than one congressman that used the word interdimensional. They said we can't talk about it, but I would say interdimensional would be the correct term. Now, several of them said this, but then afterwards, the rest were everybody else was told, okay, you can't say that anymore. You cannot. That's not public knowledge, blah, blah, blah. So they were all told that they cannot use that word after the first few people came out and used the word interdimensional. Then they were told they cannot talk about that anymore. So I don't know where it lays, but I'm telling you, Rob, the word interdimensional to me was really something.
Well, they, in the videos that they, our government has shown us, these objects are defying physics. They're flying at rates of speed that are like maybe, I don't know, 500 miles an hour past these planes, right? And then all of a sudden they make an impossible maneuver and go straight up in the sky, another, 1,000 miles an hour. So they're doing things that we don't have the capabilities of, obviously. So, that's all there's to
now
it.
that they're
it
making
probably scares the shit out of,
Yeah, now that they're making a point to say interdimensional, it makes you think. Okay, Einstein was right. There are multi-dimensions, and somehow there is a close by dimension that is somehow got a portal or some kind of link to our dimension.
Well,
that's what it leads me to believe.
Here's another thing we talk about on this show is we call them whistleblowers.
Yeah. Because that's the term. That's the term.
Well, no, the reason we say that is because you can't trust that guy, that David, whatever his name is. For one thing, he said that he ran the information already by the government, and they only are allowing him to say what he could. Remember, he said several times, "Oh, I can't say that,"
because the Whistleblower Act does not allow you to. You can reveal classic information up to.
What I'm saying is, I don't think he can be trusted. I think he's there. All those dudes up there probably, just information for us from the government that they've provided us slowly, and that they have to now. See, they're getting in trouble. There's some, there's got to be somebody's ass had now for all this money spent. Like Corey said, how much money's been spent on these underground bases? Well. While our kids have been up here starving, that's a lot of maybe illegal money. So they're starting to cover their asses now. And they're, people are starting to figure a lot of stuff out and see everything flying around in the sky. And they're just having to admit it now. They have this program, that it exists, and, they're busted.
I want to know what it is. And now that they're using the word interdimensional, it really gets me thinking, what the hell does that mean? Where are they coming from?
I think we're officially not alone, right? What's up, Tyler?
Could you imagine all the skeptics who sit there and say, "Oh, there's no UFOs. It's impossible. They don't have the technology to travel faster than the speed of light." Can you imagine if it came out that they were interdimensional? Those skeptics their heads would explode trying to figure out, well, now how are we going to explain this?
Hey, let's hope they're not from Japan.
I've only been reading up on this in the last couple of days
or Russia.
When I was telling Tyler that I'll do the show and stuff, I only was reading up on it. But interdimensional portals and all this stuff, it goes back to the 1930s. When it was Albert Einstein was the one who hypothesized this.
Albert Einstein believed that we should not be looking. You quoted this correctly on Morning Disaster. Albert Einstein believed we should not be looking towards the stars for expansion. We should be looking towards other dimensions.
Yes. And wouldn't that be something if it turned out that he was right all along? Because I believe there's life on other planets, but the distance is so great between us and them. I don't know how we would find them with with our technology limits. And I don't think it's possible. And I'm just saying physically, I don't think it's possible I didn't take physics or anything like that, but I don't think it's possible for man to go the speed of light.
Yeah, and these things are doing it, man, and that's what's scary. That tick, the tack or whatever, tic tac they called it.
Yeah,
just look at how fast that thing's going. It's
Yeah, so
insane, man.
you
You know,
wonder what that means. Now maybe they come here and
they showed video of orbs too, Corey.
maybe they come here and they give us the technology. Then we could go that fast too. Maybe that's how it'll work. I don't know, but
They had really clear orb videos that they showed in those hearings too.
Well, one
What
theory.
are those? There's like little metal balls flying around all over the place. We don't know what the hell.
I'll tell you
they are.
what, if
They
I
could be
was
from
if
anywhere.
I was coming from, say I'm coming from the future,
Uh-huh.
right?
They're
Say,
like Death Star drones.
say I'm coming from the future, all right?
Mhm.
And I want to go in the past. And I'm coming from Earth.
Mhm.
So I've created a way to bend time and come back to the year, whatever, 2023 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And so I would come back to Earth. Well, of course I would want to go in something because God forbid, because Earth orbits, you know what I mean? So you never know. You might leave in the year 2700 and think I'm going to flash back to the same exact time, but it's not exact. So
Yeah.
you need to be in something that can sustain you while you're trying to reach Earth. So I think an orb, you definitely want to get in some kind of life-sustaining orb and then try to come here to Earth. So I mean, that's when I see those orbs, that's what I think of. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but that's
There's people that
explanation for it.
say maybe that it's sort of a highway that of interstellar highway that's just going by here, and we're just catching glimpses of them, basically.
Yeah, like
And
they're just zipping
flying
through.
by.
Or maybe the dimensions.
And they
Maybe
gotta
when you-
stop and grab a cow every once in a while.
When you transfer through dimensions, maybe it's the same way. You have to be in something, and so maybe it's the orb that they're in. I don't know, but
Uh-huh.
I think that the word interdimension being used by people of official status leads me to believe there are things going on.
Yeah, well, you know yourself, before this happened, when you would talk about the UFOs or or anything, you were a goofball or I mean with real news sources. Now it's everywhere. After this happened, legit news sources are talking about this and asking questions.
Everyone would love to be the first one to break it.
It's because people like our show and underground people have already busted them out. So now they got to take it to a more public level with regular media,
But here's the thing is there are people like you and Tyler who are rationally sane people.
Sure.
Who have some thoughts.
I'm saying.
Appreciate that.
And then there are other guys. There are other people who are whack jobs. That believe that the election was fake, and they believe that that Trump's not real, that Biden's not real. It's some actor portraying him, and they believe all this stuff. But they're also hosting a show that covers things like this. So it's those people that, if you're the government, you kind of want those people doing a show like this.
Oh yeah. They give it a.
It's very easy to say, well, look at the source. You know what I mean? The more crazy the host, the easier it is.
It helps. Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I get scared sometimes about really getting too serious on this show and having someone knock on my door and tell me to stop or something, but I don't know. I don't think anything we're doing is dangerous, and it's stuff that most people, can figure out themselves, and we're just pointing out to them. It's out there on the internet already. So
all I know is, you look at the presidents that said, as soon as they get in, I'm going to release it.
Yep.
None of them have released.
Yeah, I remember Trump saying it's really plainly, as soon as I get in there, don't you worry, I'm gonna tell everything.
I can't remember if Biden or Obama ever said they were going to.
No, but
Obama did leak it though.
Obama, he was on Jimmy Kimmel's show.
Yeah,
he was on Jimmy Kimmel's show, and he said, "There's a talk, but I can't talk about it."
Yeah, he said he
really
heard something, but
he confirmed that there is a talk that they have with you when you become president, but he said we're not allowed to talk about it. So
Well,
Right.
that leads you to believe that Carter, Clinton, and Trump all had a talk, and they chose not to reveal, but they were told they can't talk about it.
Well, I mean, I think, they've been visiting us for a while. I think it started with the Egyptians.
Yeah.
They drew pictures of UFOs all over the pyramids, but everyone just ignores it. They drew pictures of big giant men holding little men, and
Yeah.
it's pretty clear. They got watches on, and they got they're sitting in spaceships. Those people weren't stupid. They drew really good pictures of them.
It does lead you to
know.
believe that maybe these people who hypothesize that Neanderthal man is close to us but not us, and that someone came down and they were slipped
around with our DNA
an extra gene, or something happened,
Yeah.
and something happened to turn them into human. And it
does
make you wonder.
This planet's way older than I think we are been led to believe.
Well, they've actually confirmed it. It's not. The belief was that Earth is 6.5 billion years old. They now believe it actually is older. That's actually becoming a streamlined theory when it comes to paleontology.
Well,
and archaeology.
This changes a lot with, you got to remember, if aliens are real, and what makes people mad is that we could have been enlightened, right? Back in the 50s, or like when this happened, and we knew, and they struck a deal with them. They say what Truman or FDR might have struck a deal even with aliens. But and at that time they got technology. I think Transformers appeared out of nowhere, radio technology, microwaves, toasters. The stuff just appeared out of nowhere. Technology did at certain points.
Wouldn't it be crazy if remember 2001: Space Odyssey?
Yeah, good
remember
movie.
How crazy that movie was when they were like, they came and they put while apes were doing stuff, they put the monolith down, and the apes got intelligence. They became human, and then they put the monolith on the moon, and then we discovered the moon, and we discovered it on the moon, and then we ended up going out towards.
So here's the thing, though.
If that was real, if
that'd be hilarious.
True.
Yep, that may be how it went down. Who knows?
Science fiction writers have actually been correct. That's insane.
But see, we could have been enlightened, right? If these guys have this knowledge and this technology, and they're flying around and defying physics and jumping universes, they're probably enlightened people with really strong intelligence, and we could have been enlightened by all of this knowledge, and we should have been able to share it, instead of like a bunch of Americans hogging it in Nevada. All this knowledge, they should have been sharing it with the world, because check it out, we could have all been enlightened, possibly, and smart and peaceful and loving. And the big thing is, though, is energy, free energy.
Yeah,
think about that. We could have had free energy,
but we
fucked our planet up, and we just fight over oil.
Are we there yet? Are we there? And are we, as a race, as a human race, are we ready to be told what's really happening? And I think that's a question.
I think this is the time. People are mad, and they're
kind
of being lied to.
But if you look at what's going on, on the planet. So yeah, I think there might be some people that are ready for any truth. I mean, listen,
everyone talks about being enlightened and trying to reach enlightenment.
Existence could be, say, in the middle of existence, there is a being in charge, or something in charge, and it's just surrounded by a bunch of souls or a bunch of spirits or something. And every time, and they need something to do with these souls, so they started sending out alien, or whatever you want to call them, and to basically make planets have beings in existence, so that they can send these. So then they send a soul every time a being is born. They send a soul out from this big thing.
Yeah, I think they're called the Anunnaki. Actually,
yeah,
you're telling the story of the Anunnaki.
And this is also somewhat of Scientology. But say so a soul goes into every time a human is born, and say that's what really happened. could they tell that to us and we'd accept it? And I mean this. People who on this planet, I mean, there's school shootings.
No, yeah,
There's
dude,
school
you're right,
shootings.
and that's the other reason why it's kept hidden all this time is religion.
The
It
aliens,
would,
the aliens they might say, this guy, they're not ready. We don't want to share it with them.
well, you got the Catholic Church is
Yes.
like in the power structure of the universe, right? There's like, I don't know, there's the Illuminati, and then there's like the Rockefellers, and right under that is the Catholic Church,
But
and
seriously,
then everybody else.
if the Illuminati exists, do they want this out there? No.
No,
If it exists, if there is someone out, if there's people out there that could tell us, okay, you idiots, here, why aren't you guys using blah 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 for energy? That's where we go, holy shit, we never thought of that. Yeah, because if you guys use that, you'd have unlimited energy. Do the oil companies really want us finding out about that?
Well, speaking of energy,
stories of people that come up with free energy and water
Yeah.
run cars and then they disappear.
Yeah.
What's
The
up,
oil
Alex?
companies don't want us finding out about that.
speaking of energy, China did announce today they developed a nuclear battery that has a 50-year lifespan, and it's almost the size of a coin.
Yeah, they don't.
Mm-hmm.
The people who make the power, the people who sell the energy, they don't want us finding out about that shit. They don't want us. Look at. We know the Earth is dying. We know that climate change is real. We know it's dying, but they still don't care. They don't care.
Well, it's heating up. I
Right.
don't know. It's going to take a long time to die, I think.
Yeah, but still, it
Might
is
get a little
dying.
hotter on us.
But it is dying.
Yeah.
And they don't care how many people die as long as as long as they can make more money.
Right.
So I'm saying, as long as these people exist, as long as they exist, there are things we're not going to know.
Yeah. I mean, if they all of a sudden really break out and say, okay, aliens are real and we have this technology and we've been holding it from all you guys for, I don't know, 50 years. And we just been keeping it to ourselves and not sharing it with the science world at all, because we got our own little science and, scientists to do this. And we just kept all of it. And,
because I mean, Rob, say you do this show, you talk about all these unknown things. Tyler, you did the show. So say you guys start hitting on some real shit. Say the show gets really huge. Like say the show has millions of viewers each week, and it's really crazy, and people are listening to the shit you're saying. And someone comes to you and says, "Hey, Rob, here's $500,000. Here's $500,000, and we want you to talk about this." Starting in your next show, talk about that. Turn the page. The week after that, talk about the next thing. Tyler, they go to you and they say, here's $500,000. What are you guys going to do? Seriously, honestly, what will you do?
Well, I mean, if it's in my case, sorry, Rob, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, I want to hear your answer.
If it's in my case, I mean, that's a tough one. I can understand where you're coming from, saying people can be bribed off and, that said, oh, you're talking about this one, well, no, don't talk about this or else we'll pull the show. Talk about this instead and you'll make some money off of it. Here. I get where you're coming from. Yeah. Talk
about this. They give you a script and you go, all right, well, next week we're going to talk about blah, blah, blah. I mean, I know because I was part of an industry.
Yeah.
30 some odd years that was bought.
I mean,
the radio industry was bought. And I'm telling you, and I don't think it would take $500,000. I think they can get you guys for $100,000. But
here's my answer. I think what you're describing is just taking a job in the entertainment industry, which is any network, television,
money,
broadcast agency now.
These people are billionaires. They're billionaires.
CNN, of course, we haven't trusted them for a while. And Fox, seemed kind of like they were cool for a while. Now, not really. They're liars too, man.
Fox,
they're just as bad. They're all liars and telling you the same thing. They're telling you that script that Ray had in your hand. They all have it. You ever see those creepy videos that shows like the same newscast saying the same thing for the day?
Yep.
Yeah. like 25, different videos of
There
everyone saying the
are
same thing.
there are people with a lot of money that have a lot of power, and those people continue to make money in the energy, in the oil, in the power energy.
I would take the money, but my first show, I promise you, I'll wink in the camera and be like, "This is the end." That the old show's over. Winky, wink, bye.
Well, but they
No,
don't.
I
They
don't
don't care.
know.
They don't care as long as you're not out there.
I think it's that there's somebody out there that's watching all of that probably, and it scares them.
And
Well,
if there's someone, say they're coming from another dimension, or they're coming from another planet or something,
uh-huh.
and they have with them, and they get to meet, they find one of us who is enlightened enough, and they have a conversation with them and go, "Listen, you idiots, why are you not using the sun for your power?"
Yeah.
Well, you don't, blah blah, and they go, here is a device. I'm gonna give it to you. Use this device, and you can power an entire country with it. They probably have something like that.
Yes.
And would you want them to give that to someone here on Earth? Would you?
I mean, I don't know. I think they might even have it already, and they just haven't
and
told us.
whoever's got it might be being paid
in those underground facilities.
Or maybe they quit another place. They said, "Well, I'm checking out this planet. It seems they have a hierarchy that they follow. So let's give it to the person at the top of the hierarchy." And who knows? Maybe they went to the United States. Maybe they went to Russia. Maybe they went to China. Maybe they went. Maybe
there's just so much at stake. There's religion. There's free energy. There's enlightenment. There's peace on Earth. All these things that we've lost, possibly that we could have had all these years. All for oil, practically,
You're saying those are the things to look at. So these people have power and money to keep things quiet that they don't want. Listen,
that's why I describe the whistleblowers as, just them leaking out a little bit of information that they want the public to know that they're busted out, and people are going to just keep figuring out Roswell.
You got to be skeptical with everything. But
a guy also, remember a doctor came out about 2 years ago. What was that guy's name, Tyler? Who came out and said that he was down there in Area 51, and he described all of it. He said that there was
Bob Lazar.
Yeah, he was on Joe Rogan, and he said that he maybe he was on Joe Rogan.
He was on Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
That's how I first
so he said that he was in two different. He worked on a ship, and he replaced the guy before him that died. That was working on the ship, and because he touched something and fucking blew up, and he replaced this guy, and he was working on some kind of anti-gravity device, and it was all in compartments, and you really couldn't see the other compartments what they were working on. Basically, he said.
I don't know. I know that.
And then they come out in Congress and go, "Well, okay, we got a couple of these grainy, shitty videos for you. What's up with that? Why are they all horrible videos?"
Why you would choose the Joe Rogan show to go on and reveal things? But
it's one of the biggest podcasts
right now. Let's face it,
one of the biggest podcasts
next to you, Ray.
No, but I'm saying he's got a specific audience. There are bigger audiences that he could reach.
Yeah, more legit audiences too.
You also have to consider, maybe that's the only person that could take him at the time. How many people want to sit there?
Guy.
If you really want to reach the most amount of people, you would somehow take over the Super Bowl, or you would take over the Oscars,
then you go to jail.
I'm saying you would take over some kind of global broadcast to get your message out. So I'm just saying they obviously don't want it out because that's how they do it. Somebody came from another dimension or another planet, and they really wanted the most of us to know there's something out there. That's how they would do it. You'd want it.
Well, don't forget, I had this special. I'm lucky enough to be able to say that I've saw a fleet of UFOs. I don't know if you remember, but I remember in my backyard I saw some triangle UFOs floating around.
You showed me the video, and I said,
and I got pictures of them. And then they went into a portal. Actually, we were talking about portals earlier. They were like there was a portal in the sky, and they just kind of all went into it and disappeared. And
it's crazy.
I watched it happen.
After you told me that and showed me that, there were a bunch of people that were sending out the exact same looking things.
Yeah,
It's
they're
all
all over now.
Wow.
Now you can go and see like hundreds of
But
videos of
also
Google
Werid,
UFOs, triangle orange lights.
you
You'll
know,
see them.
Elon Musk has got that, whatever that thing's called that's up there now, that
Yeah.
if you get a look at that thing, it's crazy.
Oh, that thing's flown over here a couple hundred times. I've literally heard
That
people
is-
say,
Let's
that a
talk about
UFO?"
Elon
That's
Musk
the
and
Starlink.
ships for a second, Raymond. Switching off aliens slightly. Elon and people. Here's what crazy people are saying about Elon
Okay.
is and the Earth, and they're kind of like flat earthers. They think that there is a circle around the Earth, and that we have never broke through it. Right. I mean, I'm telling you, a lot of people believe this.
They can't.
Right. It's called what's
Space
it called?
is fake. That's the
terraform.
Is,
They call it the terraform in the sky, and they say
These are the
Elon
people.
Musk's rockets are hitting this and bouncing off. Wait, there's more.
Okay.
They're bouncing off. Right. People are saying we can't go through this. Right. They're saying space is a lie.
All
There's
right.
no planets out there.
I
And
find
all of our flights
find-
to space
I find
and the
that
moon
very
have been fake. Every single one.
find that very sad. I think
It's
of
a
those people-
big group of people
I
that
think of
really,
that
really
group of people who
this.
believe that. I think of them along the same lines as these people who are handling snakes and speaking
I don't see how they like the space station up there is up there floating around right now. You
absolutely.
know,
Yeah.
and there's people in it,
just-
and they
I
don't
think-
believe it
I
almost.
think those people are sad.
Well, and then there's flat earthers. Let's talk about the flat Earth. Do you believe anything about that, Ray? What do you think about the flat Earth?
It's what insane people believe.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, Ray.
These
Thank you.
people are
And-
crazy and they need
And
help.
even whenever they're up in the damn space station, and they point the camera down at the Earth, and you can clearly
Yeah.
see it down there, people
I
still are like, "Oh, that's not real."
I have
all
direct
being
I have
digitized.
direct TV. I have direct TV, which comes from satellites. So that's one of the first ways I know that
Damn.
the earth is not flat. So I
Right.
just,
Or have you ever seen an eclipse?
yeah.
It's round, right?
Yeah.
And there's a big
Yeah.
round circle in front of it. Dan
Yeah. So
said the
I know
sun
those
is just a
people
big freaking heat bulb.
Yeah.
Yep, and it's like Ray said, it's blowing up. Basically, it'll just heat up and kill us all.
I'll tell you the one. I'll tell you the one I found recently that
You're
really
welcome.
pisses me off is there's two others I found with the space is fake and the flat earthers. There's a theory that dinosaurs don't exist, which I literally had to chew 6 gummies to get over. I was so pissed off about that. And the one that really threw me for a loop, and I really can't believe people thought about this, is they say the ocean is fake. Why would you think the ocean is fake?
Well, I just think it's sad that there are people that are that mentally troubled.
What about birds? Birds are fake. You
Oh,
heard
I
those
didn't want to
people?
talk about the birds is fake group. No,
Yeah,
that
you
is
heard
a
that.
whole level of bullshit.
They're
That
robots,
is
right?
I think it's
stupid.
very sad. I think it's very sad there are people.
Yeah, you know when you see them all on the wires lined up, they're recharging.
That's that they're drones. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's why they do that, dude. That's why why don't they die?
I find that very sad. I
Maybe
find
that's
that
why
very, very sad. It's like the people who won't stop. I'll see interviews with these Trump fans, people who believe that he's still president and Biden's an actor and the election was rigged and stolen, and they're really sad. I mean, and you just wonder what misery has gone on in their life to push them to this level where they just
There's
don't
people
believe-
that really think that, aliens have kind of invaded us already, and that, people like Biden, the Obamas, and the Bushes are all reptiles.
I also heard Trump's a reptile too.
That's insane.
No, I heard he's not. So.
I heard. I'll tell you.
I heard he's the only one that's not a reptile, and that's why they hate
Maybe
him.
that's why the aliens don't want to come down, is because we have people who still believe that Earth is flat, the space is
Yeah,
fake.
Well, they just drive by on their little highway.
The point I'm making is there are so many sad people that believe in non-reality. That might be the thing that's and especially in our country. And then you get people in third world countries that believe, that still believe in a sun god and still believe in
Mhm.
in whatever nonsense they believe
They
in.
see videos of something that we've done with AI and they think it's real and
Yeah.
they go freak out and go commit suicide.
So
Yeah.
maybe this is why. Maybe that's the reason they're not telling us things. They think these people are not evolved enough.
Either we're not
Well,
evolved enough or we're just too combative and stand.
they think that we're not, smart enough, and that we'll just all freak out, and
I'm
I
just
don't
saying
know.
that I
We're too
don't think
stupid.
that I would freak out. But I am starting to think that
The religion part's hard to swallow, man. For
yeah.
people.
But I am starting to think that there is obviously something that when we find out about it, we're all gonna go, holy shit. You know what I mean? I can't believe
There's so many crazy videos out there,
going
man. Going
whatever
on already.
whatever it
It's just
really
insane.
is, whatever it really is, it might be, it could
This
be
is also the year of, we talked to, I always say this last year was the year of the end of video evidence, because AI now you can just create anything, man, and it looks amazing and real, and you can't tell the difference. So that's the end of video evidence.
yeah.
Showing me a video of something that's not evidence anymore. Not and that's a fucking video that could have been created by anything now. So it's not good evidence anymore.
But also I think that we are on our planet, our country is filled with people who are anxious to find out what's going on.
Yeah.
They're pushing it a little too much. I'll give you an example. Look at the Miami Mall incident that happened. When did that happen? Like a month ago?
Oh, it was New Year's Day.
All right. And there people are, because so many police showed up, they're convinced it was aliens.
I have some weird things to show you about that. But go ahead.
But I'm saying that, why is it so hard to believe that some asshole kids went and threw a bunch of fireworks and people thought it was gunmen? With as many mass shootings as we have in this country, it scared the hell. People started calling the police, and Miami said, "Oh my God, there's someone's shooting people," and so they sent as many cops as they can.
There's literally video of the group of kids setting off the fireworks in the mall, then getting into a fight afterwards. We talked about on my podcast. There's video of the cops literally chasing these kids. Yeah. They're not. It's no aliens.
It's mostly just what people reported and said, and then there's a video that.
Why is it so hard to believe in what I just said?
Yeah, it seemed a little bit of a big response.
People are doing things that led them to believe there were terrorist attack going on at a mall that involved massive guns and a big shooting. So of course you would send every police officer that you can. Miami's a city of millions of people, so they have a shitload of police officers, and of course they all showed up. Why is that so hard to believe? But these kids went into a video game store and they opened up a portal, and a bunch of 10-foot tall aliens started coming through the portal.
Yeah, well, so we watched a video last week, and we saw, what we looked at the 9-foot tall alien that was supposedly walking down the street, right? And we looked at, from a few angles, and you could clearly see that it was just 3 men. It was 3 men walking next to each other in a row, and they were escorting somebody. But in the blurriness of the video, it looked like maybe a big, tall alien walking along. So, but this is the thing that I want to show you guys too. I went back and looked at the video, and see, people are saying that there was black shadow figures flying around, and that's the reports. And even there's a video out there of a guy saying, "I just got out of there, man. There was these black shadow aliens, dude, and I got the hell out of here." So I thought, okay, that guy's crazy. And you know what? The next day, it was really weird, man, because he made another video saying, "Oh, hey, this is Joe or whatever. I was just kidding yesterday completely. Oh, that was a joke." Okay. So it was weird that he just switched his story. But
None of them were there. It's always some guy from Ohio commenting.
So you guys got to see this though. I got something really weird to show everybody. I spotted black shadow aliens on top of the freaking building that we missed.
Brady Crow.
So give me a second.
In the chat room, Brady Crow says, I don't believe in video evidence. Also, I have some stuff to show you about that.
Me, same here. Yeah, I don't believe in any video evidence one bit, but you watch what I'm about to show you.
All right.
By the way, you guys were mentioning
I'm about to show you some video evidence, and our whole show is about video evidence. But
you guys were mentioning earlier about the implications of aliens with religion. The Bible does reference about extraterrestrial life multiple times, and me being a Mormon and all that stuff, I'd say bring it on. We want to hear about it. I don't think it'll destroy religion. I think it's just...
Well, wouldn't it be something if somehow we found out that at the time of the writing of the Bible, maybe there was some presence on Earth of something, and they were trying to tell those stories.
Right.
Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Corinthians 10:4-5 talks about fighting a spiritual enemy with weapons not of this world. Matthew chapter 4 says, tempter with other beings not of your world or of your surroundings. So that's just two of the quotes. I mean, I went for my Bible, so I was like, what chapters are those in? But I was like, I'm going to just Google it.
Yeah, I know it's weird, but we don't know. We still don't know. Yeah, and plus the Bible, as Dan says, the Bible was written over thousands of years. Like they originally wrote it,
Yeah, there's a bunch of also, I think
the Old Testament was written before Christ was born. I mean,
yes. So it's one of those books that's been rewritten so many times.
Yeah, whenever who was in power rewrote the Bible. So.
Yeah. So
okay.
All right, Rob wants to share with us.
Yeah, take a look at this. Okay, let me present my screen here. Let's see, share screen. Mm-hmm.
Brady says,
okay.
Giants. Do they mention giants in the Bible? Well, David and Goliath.
Yeah.
What was Goliath? Goliath was some giant, sort of giant thing.
They find giant bones everywhere. There's
Book of Genesis, Brady. Book of Genesis 6:1-4. That mentions all right, so they
say they hide them, they say they hide all the bones that they find from
all right, so this was us from a couple of weeks ago, correct?
Yes. All right. So if you watch the video, you can see I'm showing the guy the scene. Now hold on. It shows all the police in Miami. Hold on, it's getting there. Jeez, come on. Okay, so if you watch, that is the area where the 9-foot video alien was supposedly seen at, right? The blue area I just pointed out with my mouse, and that's the alien, the blurry alien that's supposed to be seen. You can see him again a little better here. Okay, see, there it is. He's walking, right? See the blue alien that walked? That's just 3 police officers.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of that circle. It's just 3 police officers walking down the street is all it is. But Tyler hasn't seen this either. Watch along the edges of the top of this freaking building. There's black shadow creatures on both corners of this building reaching down and doing weird stuff, dude. I'm telling you. I didn't notice it before until last week. I was just watching the video, and I was, at work, I was just watching the video to see how we did on the show. And I was like, what in the hell is moving around on top of this building, dude? Watch. Tell me if I'm crazy, but watch. Here we go. Watch the edges of the building, the corners. And over here, like both corners, there's these black creatures, dude, moving around. Watch this. Do you see those things in the corners? The weird black things moving around? What the hell is that, dude? You see it again here. Hold on, look. Look on the roof, the black edges. What is that thing in the corner coming down? What is that thing right there? I mean, what in the hell? There you can see these weird black things forming. And here's the, of course, the report from the police. There were no aliens, UFOs, or ETs. That's the official report from the city of Miami. Yeah, but okay, did you see that? Did everybody see that? Am I crazy?
I didn't see anything clear enough to think it was anything.
It was a horrible, I'm sure, grainy video. But did you see something moving around up there? You did, right? I mean,
I saw whatever they had, whatever the circle was around, whatever was making the circle, whatever video program I saw on the outskirts, there was some kind of distortion.
It was a crazy, weird shadow figure distortion. Yep.
I've also pulled
on the roof of the building is where it is.
Yeah, so I see nothing that led me to believe that it was anything.
So let me see if I can zoom in any.
I actually
would have been SWAT if it was an actual person.
Yeah, I actually pulled up another angle, and that distortion ray spots, I spotted it too. It's on this video too. It's from another angle though, from another camera.
Yeah, let's see your video.
Well, I don't understand why they put the circle over everything. What the hell does that mean?
They're focusing in on the 9-foot-tall monster, the three men walking.
3 men walking. Yeah, that's you could tell that's multiple people walking.
That's not what I'm telling you to focus on, though. I'm telling you, look at the rooftop, the black edge of that roof right there. Higher up.
Let's see it pulls.
See that? What is that? What is that thing? You saw that? What is that black thing moving right there?
Yeah. Right there, I see it. Yeah, all right.
Yep, you can see that in the other video too. As clear as about.
Yeah,
it's like a smoke or a wisp or something like that.
Yeah, it does. It looks like it.
Why does it look like that in both angles though? It looks like that in my angle too.
It could be a shadow, but I don't know.
It's freaky.
It does look like, it does look like smoke or something. Yeah, but still, that's kind of.
Let it roll. Let it roll. Watch it. See what happens across the edge of that black
edge. Here's the thing: for that to show up, as clearly as it does there, and to also show up in the other angle that you had, it is.
Look, there it is, right there. You can see it.
Angle, yeah.
See, they're telling you to focus on the three guys. That obviously that's a 9-foot-tall monster there. No, look at the thing on the corner of the building that's reaching out. That's a freaky shadow figure that made people run from that building.
I don't know what that is. It looks like Batman. It could be Batman.
You know what? People were shooting at him. That's why they were shooting, or supposedly.
Batfoot was dressed as a 10-foot-tall alien.
Said there was no shooting.
From the Batman movie of 1989, they put the little black animation in the.
Yeah.
I don't know, dude.
It looks like that.
Hey, I spotted it though. Yeah. I haven't.
No, I don't know what it is, but I did see it on both views. So.
This is a TikTok video in the making right here. We'd have 1 billion hits from all the crazy people out there believing it.
TikTok has a lot of this stuff on it.
Oh yeah. So I don't know, man. It's something weird was going on that roof. I'm telling you, there might be something little to it. It's just weird that we missed it, and how they made you focus in on the.
I think people. Just from the sounds, people thought there was a gun attack, some kind of shooting, and they freaked out.
Yeah.
They were scared. I think if I was there, I'd have been scared to death.
Yeah. I
think they got very scared, and everybody suffered a trauma. And you see people running from that mall, and just
welcome to the show, Steve.
When you see that, you realize you just want to get the hell out of there.
You get scared, you freak out, you see things. Yeah, that's most likely what happened. I mean, there's no footage or anything. There's never any, footage. So I think
sometime we're going to get. I think sometime we're going to get proper footage, or I think sometime they're going to reveal to us.
I think when we do,
of what
I always say, I think when they do, we're going to know.
Well, I was really hoping over the summer.
It's going to be footage as good as this. It's not going to Ray's camera looks a lot better than mine.
I think it'll be a press conference.
Yep.
President Biden.
That's right. It's not going to be some shitty grainy video like the government showed us.
And it'll be right before when Biden's getting too old and he's about to turn it over to someone else, it'll be and he'll blurt out whatever, he'll some craftily worded something to let us know. So that's what I think is going to happen.
Okay, our investigator Corey is on the case down here in Miami. There's been a lot of videos about it, and I haven't been able to watch them, talking about it. And some even had footage of the giant shadow creatures.
Okay, so Corey says, why did they close the airspace above the mall? They didn't close the airspace, by the way. They didn't.
That's what the police said. They said
actually
no, they
did not.
They didn't close the airport.
No,
they didn't close the airspace.
Yeah, we showed.
They had, of course, their SWAT
statement
helicopters
from Michael Vega.
He says, why did they take everyone in the mall's devices? They didn't.
They didn't do that.
Why did they make sure they shared all pictures and video? They didn't.
There is literally, and this is what I said on my show. Everybody was saying there was aliens, all that stuff. Why'd they close the airspace down? Because they thought it was an active shooter. They had SWAT helicopters in the area, of course, number one.
They might have cleared the immediate airspace,
Yeah, number two, why did Miami airport shut down? Because Miami airport also houses the SWAT helicopters, and they have to freeze it so SWAT can get up and go because they take priority. Number three, why are people, confiscating devices? They're not confiscating devices because you can literally find the video of the kids in the mall fighting and setting off fireworks, which started the whole fiasco. And you see people
and they didn't
running.
Corey said must be going off old info. We're not saying you're lying or wrong. We don't know. There's tons of info out there.
That was the TikTok guys, the guys I was talking, the guys that make shit up for views. That's the stuff they were saying. They were trying to increase their view. Like I said, there were guys in Ohio that were saying, here's what I saw at the. It's like, you live in Ohio. Why the fuck would you know what's going on in a Miami mall? So there's a lot of that stuff going on.
Right.
Around this Miami mall. But no, it's just they were scared to death. They thought, think of how terrible it would be if there was a massive shooting in a mall on a Saturday night or whatever night it was. It would freak the hell out of people. So when there's a school shooting, people are freaked out. I can't believe we live in a society with school shootings, but think of how freaked out people get. It's terrible.
So there's so many crazy things going on in this world right now. It's just even since you hosted the show last season, things have just, the speed of things just happening, and the weird things.
I hope we're closer. I hope we're closer to finding out what is going on. But let's hope that when it's finally revealed, it's going to make people go, oh my God, we got to stop this fucking around and the bullshit that we're doing, and we got to get serious about things. I just hope that it's, whenever they reveal it, it's a positive thing for that.
I don't think it's going to get revealed. I think it's going to be leaked out. Somebody is going to literally put all the money on the table and say all in. They're going to leak this stuff out to the point where the government is going to have to acknowledge, okay, yes, this is what's going on. This is what we have. It could be Biden. It could be the next person. Could be Harris, when she's president, because I'm pretty sure she's going to run in 2028 or something.
Listen, let's be honest. I'm not getting political, but the two guys that are going to run for president, one's 80 and the other one's 70. What's Trump, 79? I mean, both of them are old as shit. And what are the odds of either one of those two guys living out the next 4 years?
Well, I mean, if you look at Biden's age, he lasted 4 years. I will give him that. He's healthy enough to. He's in great shape.
I know he's in great shape, but he'll be 84 when that second term is done.
He's not aging as well as Trump. Trump's aging slightly better, not much.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't know. You saw him yesterday.
Some guys just age good,
because they're both around that dementia age. That's what's scary.
Yeah.
Actually, Biden will be 86 years old by the time his second term is done.
Isn't that crazy?
And Biden, I think, is more susceptible.
It's pretty wild he even wants to do
great health. It's in great health. Yeah, and I'm with you, Rob. It's shocking to me that he wants to do it.
How does he have the drive? Geez.
And I know he's in great shape. I mean, he jogs and he rides a bike every day and shit. And and listen, I got to give credit to Trump. Trump's fat as shit. and he eats horrible, and yet he's 79. Or he's
They
70,
say he's got the
79,
energy.
walking
It's
around,
just
yeah.
insane that little fat
There's too
dwarf's
much.
got.
There's too much preservatives in those damn French fries he's eating. That's what it is.
Could you imagine what that cholesterol level is on him? Son of a bitch. It's amazing. So they're both, they are gifted people, but, do we really think they're going to be out there? That's why I think that whoever wins this might be the one to go, well, I don't have many years left. Screw it.
You think that whoever wins it might just say, screw it, and just let their VP take over?
No, I think the pride, both of them have pride. They're not going to.
Yeah, it's too much ego on both of them.
Man, yeah, it'd really be better for the whole world if they just both stepped down.
It'd be better in all seriousness, it'd be better.
Younger people on both sides, whoever it is.
It'd be better for the world if Biden would have said last year, I'm not going to run in 24. I'll let my party pick someone else to run.
Uh-huh.
And if Trump would have just pled guilty to one of these indictments and gone to jail now. So I just think that we would have been better off to have completely different candidates running. But that's not going to happen. These guys are going to face each other. So, my hope is that Biden wins because I'm a liberal person, but I do. But when it comes to this subject, I think that either one of them would be more inclined to,
What about the Mexican aliens, Ray? You hear about them?
Yeah, I saw them. They didn't look real. They didn't look like anything to me, but I don't know. I know that they were doing they were trying to do DNA testing on them. I know
the
that.
DNA tests are finished, and they said that they're both selenium, which is a different mass at the periodic table. You have carbon, then you have selenium. They're based off selenium, not carbon based like humans are. So when humans die, when animals die on Earth, they fossilize, and they have this moment where it's the carbon leaving the body. That's what creates fossils. It seeps into the ground. These are not carbon based creatures. They're claiming the main reason they look like they are and they're preserved as they are is because it's selenium.
Yeah,
which is interesting.
Wouldn't it be cool if somehow we found something to add to the periodic table?
Their government and their Congress is taking that serious and holding press conferences and saying that they're legit, dude.
I know that. Yeah,
it's almost as big a deal as our kind of alien thing going on.
But there's also, I also think I want to say it's Brazil or somewhere in South America, and I think it's Brazil or maybe it's Argentina where they got something and there's something going on. So
the aliens look ridiculous, though. Really,
Russia, whatever Russia's got, they're never gonna.
Are you talking about the ones that were supposedly attacking people next to a mining village?
No, I'm just saying that there was some kind of UAPs that had crashed there or something, and they had maybe technology. And the same with Russia. Like there's been for years we've heard that there have been crashes in Russia, but they're never ever going to release it because the way their government's set up is, they're still, even though they're supposedly a free society, Putin has way too much power, and they do run it like it was ran during the time they were the USSR. I mean, they do have that. It's more of a dictatorship, but it's run more how it was when it was the USSR.
Mm-hmm.
And China's the same way. The way they run it is it's still communist. So they have control over what goes out and what doesn't go out too.
And China right now financially struggling because they're still trying to recover from the whole COVID thing, and their money is just.
But down. I don't see either of them releasing what they have. I just think if there's a country that's going to release it, I would think it's us, the United States. I don't know, Of course, I've never heard of anywhere in Africa having anything, but
there's been several people in Africa. There's been several nations in Africa that have come forward and claimed that they have evidence of something, or have had contact with something, but nothing claiming, we have evidence of this or that. So
I think if you're coming from another planet, and you were looking at the Earth, you would want to go where the lights are. And the places that have visible light from space are the United States and China, and parts of Russia, and parts of Australia, and parts of London. You know what I mean? Those are the places that have lights visible enough to see from space.
I think they drive by really fast and
So-
just look at us like we're the ghetto. And
But I would think
don't stop, Joe. Keep going, man.
you would land in one of those areas with the lights, right? Wouldn't you? Wouldn't that be?
Yeah.
You know.
I've kind of figured out maybe they might be stopping and getting cows every once in a while for food. Think about it. They need food. They need hamburgers or whatever up there. People are like, why are they taking the cows? They're eating them. I don't know. That's just I was thinking about that. They fly by every once in a while. And they may just go, hey, Joe, grab a couple burgers for us. Stop off down there at Farmer John's farm. And they suck up a couple of cows and throw them in the Jetsons food machine and take off.
But now the whole thing of it's not extraterrestrial, it's interdimensional. That is crazy.
They're just flying away from.
That is crazy.
They're just stopping through from another dimension, you know?
Well, yeah, Dance, if you don't want to be seen, you do stop somewhere where there's no lights. Yeah.
There's a lot of reports of stuff happening out in the desert and up in the Arctic, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, why is there an ancient civilization buried under Illinois? I mean, come on, ask yourself that. They've just found recently like an ancient civilization existed under. Look it up, Tyler. See what you can find. There's an ancient civilization they've freaking discovered under Illinois. I mean, way older than.
I know they found
the
something
Indians
off the coast of Greece that they're thinking was Atlantis.
And they're finding weird stuff under the water. Yeah, like crazy. Yeah, like
they could be checking on the progress to see how advanced we are from when they first.
It's coal mines.
Evolved us, you know. They first evolved us. Maybe they're checking. You know.
About to say, I was only finding the Cahokia mounds. That's what I was finding.
Those were ancient. I mean, those were Native Americans that.
Yeah.
Right. It was something else. I can't remember what I was reading.
They're one of the most advanced civilizations in America. Yeah. Well, and a lot of that with the whole ancient civilizations and whatnot. There's another theory going on about that. They're talking about something called the Under Dryas extinction event, where they think the ice age came to an abrupt end.
Well, the Mayans
due to a meteorite impact.
I mean, the Mayans were very advanced.
Yes.
You know, the Egyptians were advanced years ago. The Romans were advanced, and you wonder, you know, what the Iranians back when it was Persia. Look how advanced they were. So you do wonder about.
We're finding out a lot about pyramids now, you know, and how they might be actually big communicators for whoever's out in the sky. Think about that.
Have you guys ever?
They're all over the earth, and they're the same. They have the same architecture in places that should be impossible.
Yeah.
You know, and other opposite sides of the planet, they have the same exact architecture and designs and stuff. And some people think they might have had crystals underneath them and underwater passages that created electricity, possibly. And they somehow think about it. If you were like you said, the great creator out there somewhere, you'd need a way to communicate with us, right? Hey. So they might be.
I don't know. People talk about like the Egyptian pyramids. They don't know how they were built and all this stuff. All I know is that they made everybody a slave, and it could have taken 200 years to build one of those damn things.
Mm-hmm. Have you guys ever heard of this? The Yonaguni.
We do have
those steps
the Mayans in central Mexico. They have pyramids that look exactly like the ones in Egypt, exactly like
they do.
One. Yeah, they're all similar.
Look at that. Why are these underwater like this? You know, there's so many mysteries about the world.
These are the Yonaguni site off the coast of, I think it's Yokohama or something like that in Japan.
They found those giant
that's
steps underwater.
they found those.
So it is
Now-
crazy that we have these pyramids all over the world in different areas.
And here's the
Yeah,
kicker.
how'd that happen? You
And
know,
didn't they think they found one underneath, was it underneath the North Pole area or something? right?
yeah, Antarctica. There might be some up there.
Maybe
yeah.
Antarctica, South Pole, but I know they in one of those areas they think they found some kind of, you know.
I mean, you can't look at that and
Pyramid.
tell me that doesn't look Mayan. That
No,
looks
it
Mayan.
looks, but it looks or Egyptian. I mean, it just looks
Yeah,
it's
either
the
one.
same kind of structure.
So, you know, who built all those and why? That's something crazy that we really haven't figured out. And it's maybe tied in with those, you know, the Indian island structures. You know, what's the deal with those? Those
But
are in the
listen,
ground, and
This could also
we don't
maybe
know how they got put there.
maybe it's interdimensional, but maybe there's an 8th grade class in another dimension where they're teaching kids history or something,
Mhm.
and they're saying, okay, let's take a field trip. We're gonna zip into another dimension and show you what a lesser evolved species does. So they're gonna pop into our dimension. Maybe that's what the UFOs are. We don't know.
All right.
Well, check this out. Okay,
Maybe it's people from the future.
pyramids.
Could be kids from the future just taking a
All right, boys and
a
girls.
field
Who,
trip. Yeah.
all right, boys and girls. Who was the anal probe this drunken redneck?
Who wants maybe it's from 2800 or whatever. They're saying, who wants to see when the United States was crazy enough to put Trump as the president? We're gonna take a field trip and show you that. So they come back and they are flying about. Who knows? We don't.
You know what? Another thing crazy about pyramids, no one has they've led us to believe that they were created to bury pharaohs in, and apparently only a couple of pharaohs have been buried actually in
Yes,
pyramids.
you wonder what the hell
They
the
weren't
pyramids-
built as tombs. What were they?
The pyramids have different rooms and stuff, right? There's hallways and rooms, and so
Or
we
how
don't
many
even-
pharaohs were actually
we don't know what they were used for.
buried?
Which
It's
is
crazy. You're gonna find out if you Google that. Only like 4 or 5 of them were buried in like actual pyramids. What the hell? They're all over the place. Why? I mean, there's got to be a reason for it, man, that we don't understand.
Dan says there's a road under the ocean near the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I mean, it's crazy.
For those wondering the answer, there are only 3 pyramids that have had pharaohs discovered in them.
Thank you. Yeah. What, dude?
we don't-
Yeah, the amazing fact
We
checking.
still don't know. We don't know any of this stuff, but
Why
I
are they
I
built?
believe one day we're going to find out. I think we'll find out. And they'll reveal it, and
They make us think though that we're digging up these pharaohs, and they're never in the pyramids. They're always like somewhere else, dude. They've been found all over the place, but not in the pyramids.
Hey, if I can interrupt for a second, I just want to say something.
Mhm.
I noticed there's a lot of Morning Disaster fans that are watching the show. You guys, seriously, let me know feedback, because Rob and Tyler do this every week, and if you guys really like this show, we could put it on the Morning Disaster Network and at least send a link out every Sunday night if you guys want. Just let me know if you're
Sure,
you're enjoying the show. I'd love to share it, make it available, or at least give you a link to their Facebook page so you guys can watch it. So
Yeah, you could always join us when you're bored, for
Sorry.
sure.
go right ahead.
You ever got Sunday
Yeah,
nights
I'll
off?
finish
You
this
know.
Thank you, Cindy. Yeah. I enjoy the show.
And welcome all you Morning Disaster fans, and thank you, Ray, for streaming it over there.
I like when
We
you
appreciate
guys
that.
talk about Bigfoot and stuff. I always say how crazy you are. But
Oh yeah, now it's funny though. Now we can.
when
kinda
Tyler talks
go-
about Ghost,
when it comes to UFOs and stuff, we can kind of go, "Ha ha, we told you."
yeah. I think you're onto something with. But wouldn't it be crazy if they actually revealed? If they say, "Okay, here's what it is," and it's nothing that we thought it was.
Mm-hmm.
If it's even weirder.
Well, let's get your latest opinions on a few other things. How about,
all right, go right ahead.
of course, ghosts? Real? Not
Well,
real?
listen, I wish they were, but I don't believe it. I just don't believe in it.
I'm taking you ghost hunting.
Yeah, I've never.
I'm taking you ghost hunting. I am going to take. I will make you a believer.
I've never believed in ghosts.
No one close in your family either.
No. Just we don't believe in ghosts. We don't.
Yeah, I've had some weird things happen, but I've never seen a ghost or anything.
Yeah, I've never seen anything. So,
Tyler, have you seen a ghost?
I wish I would have, but I've never.
I may have seen a ghost every once in a while. I know
you're a ghost hunter,
Yeah.
Tyler. I asked you a question. Have you ever seen a ghost?
Yes, I have.
I mean, I knew Greta Alexander. Greta Alexander was on my show in college. And she held a big event at the college. And I went and I just said, this is nonsense. There's nothing here. And then I left. And you know what I mean? It was just, I don't get the whole thing.
What about Bigfoot?
I don't believe in Bigfoot. No.
Bigfoot. Damn, Bubba's going to be so broken.
I know Bubba believes in Bigfoot. I know Steve believes in Bigfoot. Steve's a big believer in Bigfoot.
Is he?
Oh,
yeah. Oh, yeah. We broke Steve down one night when he was in there.
Really, really believer in Bigfoot. And I also know Tyler believes in it.
No, I don't believe in
Bigfoot.
Bigfoot.
Okay. No, Tyler gives him hell.
Yeah, that's one thing. I don't either. I
just don't believe in it. So
I think with all of our technology now, we should have caught his ass.
Everybody carries a camera with them at all times.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's a few good videos, but they're all. I'm sorry, I think they're all a guy in a suit. You know? I think all of them are almost.
Joel, I'll take you up on that. I've wanted to go to Lexington. That's on.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that, Joel. I've heard of that. Even when I was living there, that's when they first. Isn't that when they first put it there in the?
Yes. Yes.
When I was living there in like 1989 or 90.
Rush that monkey. We got a saying on the show, right? You know, we get mad because all of these videos are blurry, right? Or the Bigfoot videos, they never, it's always the Bigfoot's walking and he's like 5 miles away and he just goes into some trees or something and wanders off and they don't even follow him or nothing. Dude, rush that monkey.
The latest iPhone has a 1080.
Exactly. Zoom in on it. Do HD. Something. Come on. It's
HD.
I mean, chase it down. What happens after the video? Like, did he just go, yep, there goes Bigfoot. Let's just let him go. We'll talk to you later, Mr. Bigfoot. You know. Yeah, so we always say, if you see a damn Bigfoot or if you see an alien, you better rush that monkey or rush that gray and get some footage and stick the camera in his face. I mean, risk your life.
I thought it was rush that monkey.
Don't be scared.
Get high with that alien. I thought that's what we had, or something that alien, or something like that.
I think
rush them. Get good footage.
Bigfoot bullshit, ghost bullshit, paranormal bullshit. I wish I believed it, but I don't.
And now, and a final on the aliens. What are you thinking now?
Well,
are UFOs? You know,
I do believe. Yeah, I definitely believe in UFOs or UAPs, whatever they want to call them. There's definitely something out there.
There's so much footage, but there's so much now, and AI comes out at the perfect time that you can't believe anything you see. So now with all this alien footage, you can't tell what's real and what's not, and But for a while, there was some really good stuff coming out. For like before AI really went crazy.
When the Pentagon releases, for lack of knowing what it's called, dash cam footage from Air Force pilots making flights, and they show you something. I don't know what the hell it's called, but it looks like a dashboard cam.
Yeah. What do you?
That stuff looks very real to me. So
right, yeah.
I believe that is true.
What do you think about AI in the future and AI taking over the world? And does it scare you, or you think it's dangerous?
No, I think that what's going to happen, though, is I think AI can do a lot of jobs, and it's going to put a lot of people out of work. And I think that they better start thinking of some kind of universal income or something, because let's face it, the people who own companies want to take the cheap way out. And if we say, yeah, you could spend $100,000 and get a robot to do the job of people that you have to pay $20 an hour and make sure they have health care insurance and blah, 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 they're going to be replacing a lot of us with AI. And I think that we have to be prepared for that.
Yep.
I think, what I do with the morning disaster is I think it's going to take a while for AI to get to the level of where they have conversations off the cuff that people can find amusing. But I think if you're working in a factory or driving a truck or anything like that, I think, I think it's going to be, I just don't know how long those jobs are going to be around. So I think they have to, before you allow them to get that advanced, you better, they should slow that down, because I'll tell you, it is scary when you think of, they have plans for there to be no drivers of semis.
Yeah.
Just to be AI. And that's scary. I find that scary.
Yeah, man. Because what happened is the truck drivers driving around, they stop in restaurants, they stop in hotels, they stop in mom and pop shops and spend money, and that's going to be gone.
I think it would damage the economy, and it would make our society very tiered. Like at the top of it, we'd have people worth billions and trillions, and then everybody else would just be living on 25 grand a year or whatever the hell they make the universal income. So, I think that stuff's kind of scary, think about it. There's going to be a time, I don't know if we'll still be around, but there's going to be a time in the future where power will be free. There's going to be a time in the future where I don't think water is ever going to be free, but power will be free. I think there will be a universal income. And I think that there's going to be AI doing most jobs and stuff like that. And you just wonder how are we going to get along? How's that all going to work?
I think this year, man, there's going to be some wild changes. I really do. Because, I think people are just kind of, if you really watch and look around on the internet, everyone talks about an enlightenment.
I do hope that we become enlightened. That I would like for people to stop believing bullshit and just believe facts. And let's be clear what facts are. And I'd love for us all to become that evolved, that enlightened. And if somehow revealing what's going on with UAPs and UFOs will do it, I say, then let's do it. Let's make it as quick as possible. So, I just don't know if that's, I hope it's close, but I don't think it is, because we do need some kind of, we do need to be more of an advanced civilization, because we're really not. There's still assholes going out with guns, shooting up schools. That I just find that insane.
Doesn't it? If you think about if there are really advanced people from other universes that are flying around and defying physics, and they're from other galaxies, and
I don't think,
and they have this possibly free energy for us, and enlightenment, and this super knowledge, and
they know what's really going on with existence and what they could tell us. And they're like, these people aren't ready for it. Maybe it is something scary. Maybe it is something that makes Carter cry. Maybe it is something that they're going to determine these people are not ready for it. I'm not saying this is what it is, but let me ask you guys, because this is the show you do. Are we ready to find out there's no such thing as God? Are we ready?
Yeah, that's the big.
Are we ready? Are we ready to find that out?
That's a humongous part of it.
Are we ready to be told that? Are we ready?
We were planted here by some aliens, thousands of years ago, and they were just brought us here to be little monkey gold slaves.
I hope that's not what it is. But are we ready for it? because
Well,
I don't
that's-
think we are. I don't think we're anywhere near.
Well, it just means so much that there's no religion and that there's gonna, I don't know,
Well,
free energy. They've just
that's-
taken it all from us.
John
that's
Lennon
why-
is right.
that's why I said a while back, even I'm religious, what if mankind is remnants of an alien species that left Mars? What if Mars was a planet thriving just like us, and they had
We don't know.
global warming, and we thought
It looks just like Earth. It looks like it just burnt up, and they all came here. Probably.
Yeah. What if we came down? That's it.
We don't know, but I would just think maybe if wherever they're coming from, we don't know if they're coming from another dimension, another planet, whatever. Are they going to really tell us? Or are they going to look at these people? Are they going to look at it and say, "Nah, these people are not ready yet. They're not." Look what they still believe in. They still believe in this. This is crazy. They're still talking.
Yeah.
They're handling snakes.
My point was
ready.
though. Yeah, it doesn't. All of that, the mystery of what's could be going on out there with all these aliens, and that there's this possibility even, and it makes our little wars and our little battles seem so stupid, doesn't it? All right,
Yeah,
we're fighting each other on this damn planet, and there's this going on out there, and we're down here having our little battles over religion.
There are people who live in the United States. And they have a wonderful life. They have a wonderful life. And yet they hate a political side. Like, I hate my enemies are liberals and I hate them. Or my enemies are conservatives and I hate them. I mean, we're caught up in bullshit like that. I just don't think we're ready. What if the truth is something that is so evolved? And so what if they say, listen, you guys do know that you're living in a video game or you know what I mean? Maybe we're
Matrix.
Maybe we're all living in the Matrix.
It's all just a simulation.
Yeah. Maybe they're going to tell us that. Are we ready to hear that? No.
What if everything that's happening around you is really only happening inside of your mind?
Yeah.
That's
maybe
that's the only thing that exists.
Maybe we're just a bunch of then I will be pissed and I'll say, my God, how come I didn't have more sex, or how come I didn't win the lottery, or why wasn't I born to someone that was a billionaire where my life would have been easy? Yeah. Why did I get fat? How come I got fat? You know what I mean? Who knows?
Yeah, it makes all of our problems seem just ridiculous.
But whatever it is whatever they're going to tell us, or I don't know if they ever will, but maybe it's something that we're just not ready for. So, and maybe it'll be hundreds of years before we're ready for it, which is a shame because we'll all be gone.
Maybe that's why they always, you have presidents like Carter and all them who they've been told and like cry in office. Maybe that's their test. Like, okay, next president comes in, we're going to tell him the truth. And if he accepts it, then we're going to go ahead and start leaking it more and more until it's finally out. If they break down and cry like Carter did, then we ain't saying nothing for another 4 years.
Maybe they have something they go, here, if you give this shot to every single person, they'll live forever. Or here you go. Here, use this.
Exactly.
Get energy from the sun.
Dude, they could probably cure all of our illnesses.
So think about it. But they're probably thinking
we'd all be peaceful, loving creatures. We wouldn't
just not ready.
Need oil and money, and we just would live in peace and love and health, and that's what could have happened.
And it's not just us. I mean, we're thinking of our country, and look at the problems we have. Now go to a third world country where they believe in what they believe. They believe in nonsense. And I mean, they're way worse. So as a planet, we're not ready. We're not ready for whatever the hell it is.
Well, there's people out there that are, I think they are waking up a little bit, Ray. You'd be surprised.
But what if someone comes down and they say, okay, here's the deal. We are Flubbians, and we come from the planet Flub, which is, hundreds of light years away. And they're Asian. They look Asian. They go, in fact, every Asian person, we brought them here to this planet. Could we handle hearing something like that?
Cool. Awesome.
No,
I think
there are people that are going to go, fuck it, I'm getting my gun and I'm going to shoot every Asian I see because they're aliens.
I don't think I don't
What
think
if they
it'll go
say that
that
about?
route.
What if it's black people, or what if it's Latinos like me,
Right.
or maybe it's white people?
Right.
We're not ready for whatever it is they have to say.
Watch, the aliens are going to come down. They're all Trump supporters.
Seriously, interview someone who's a Trump supporter. They're living a different existence.
they do.
And I'm not saying like there are some people that are just conservative and they like Trump. I'm not talking about them, but I'm saying talk to the people who believe the election was stolen, who believe that Trump is still president, the people who believe that Biden is actually James Woods or some actor wearing makeup. I mean, talk to one of those people. You'll be shocked. And you don't want them to find, we don't need them getting more involved. They're insane.
I kind of actually agree with what Dan says. Aliens need to abduct all the lazy people and the ones who choose to remain dumb and uneducated. Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe they want to sit down and say, listen, the Bible is real, actually. It is real. And those who aren't following it, I'm sorry, you're going to hell. We go, oh my God. Are we ready for that? No matter what it is, I just think there's something that we have to be told that we're not ready to hear.
I think, I don't know. People, they really are sick of being lied to about it all. And I don't think they can be.
But Rob,
everything's becoming really transparent and smart, and it's catching up with them.
They're not ready for the truth. Whatever the truth is.
No, they're not. That's why I think they just are leaking it slowly, a little bit at a time. And that's what that whole big Congress thing was. That was their big show to let you know, yeah, we do have aliens. We do have some ships. I hope they are flying by our ships faster than we can figure out. We don't know what the fuck they are.
My hope is that there is something more. That there is something more to all of this. And someone knows it, and they will eventually tell us. That's my hope before I die. I'd like to know.
I think it's going to happen.
What existence is.
I just have a feeling,
Can I just say something?
Even if it's bad, I'd like to know.
I just want to point something out. I've been watching Ray since 2020 when you first got laid off, when the pandemic started. I did not know that Congress had announced that, yes, they have UAPs or UFOs in their possession. I heard about it on Ray's show, Morning Disaster. The problem is I had to go through 3 pages. It was buried on like the 3rd page. And the first topic on the front page was COVID, Trump, the elections. So, because I'm bringing this up because I'm looking at Thomas Hardman's question here saying we're not ready. It will either be meh or mass hysteria. I don't think it'll be mass hysteria. I think it'll be met with a combination of meh, because no one paid attention to when that was leaked out in 2020. And Ray, you talked about it on the show. And I was like,
what in the hell? They literally admitted all of this, and the whole world just went, whatever.
Never in a million years have I ever thought I'd be around long to see the U.S. government say, yes, we are aware of UFOs. Yes, we are aware of UAPs.
I think there's more to come. I'll tell you, this is what the word is on the internet is amongst the conspiracy folks, is that the next thing is that they're going to plan a fake alien invasion. So watch for that. But
I played Halo.
As long as it's positive, you know what I mean? If the aliens are cool,
are
cool. Let them come. I say, fucking come on.
Yeah, you hear that there's just all kinds of different kinds of them. That there's lizards. There's lizards that have infiltrated the earth already. They live underground and they come up and they're shapeshifters, and those are the things you see on TV with their eyeballs all slitted. And there's grays. There's like 3 different races of grays.
I would love to hear that there are shapeshifters that have been living amongst us, and
that's a pretty solid thing people believe.
I would love to find out that's true. I'd love to meet one of them. So
they have these videos of people just acting really weird, and they're just sitting there and they think the camera's not on them, and they start going, it's freaking out kind of, and like they're just twitching and stuff, and like
I would love to be enlightened enough to find out the stuff. So
They catch people on camera and their eyeballs glitch out, and that's what happens.
Is
Look
Joel
at
a
that.
friend? Is Joel a friend of yours?
yeah, Joel is a friend of mine. Yeah.
Christ, Joel.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Okay, so see, Dan knows a lizard person. So
Yeah.
there you have
Oh,
it.
you want to
But
hear?
I'm ready to. I want to find out, and then I want, I want society to evolve. I do want.
Why would they want to come up here and put on our masks and like go on TV? Like, you think if you're a lizard person, you're like, I want to go up on the upper areas and go on the news and become a CNN anchor.
The interdimensional,
Yeah.
the interdimensional thing really moved me because
Well,
I just think, oh my God, Einstein was right. It is interdimensional. They have somehow created portals, and people are, and it could be, who knows?
Project Blue Wing. That's a great show.
Maybe there's a dimension just like ours, right next to ours, and somehow they're crossing over.
I've actually got a theory on Dan's lizard people.
Yeah.
All right. So back in 1980, scientists discovered the fossils of a troodon, and they realized it was one of the smartest dinosaurs to ever exist. It's about the size of a human. The brain cavity was almost matched with most modern apes. So they had a theory. What if dinosaurs such as a troodon didn't go extinct? What if they had survived and evolved? What would it look like? And Dan mentions the lizard people, and this, I think, might be what some people are seeing. That's the model of what the troodon would have looked like had it evolved into a human species. That kind of looks a little familiar,
tiny.
doesn't it?
Very tiny penis.
They don't need penises.
And this is why we're not ready for the aliens. It's because the first thing we see is no penis. Okay.
Well,
Penis jokes.
How do they procreate?
Reptiles have their penis that it's
their
inside
minds.
them. It's
They
inside
mind
of them.
meld.
Humans have a penis, and that's how we procreate.
But this is a
Right.
reptilian dino hybrid.
And I'm just saying that we're advanced to the point now where you don't even need a penis you can procreate without sex.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
We are that advanced. So.
Sleep sex from the land of lost.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of my couple friends of mine in Florida, they successfully had artificial insemination, and now
We're making babies in test tubes now.
Yeah,
Cranking them out. We'll pop out one in the microwave.
I think that's wonderful. I do think it's wonderful. I wonder why more lesbians aren't asking for my seed. Because
Right.
I think it would be wonderful to have a child that takes after me.
So this is what people believe a dinosaur evolved into.
Yeah, so I don't know, but Dan has them living underground. Oh wow.
Reptiles have a there.
Yeah, I mean that's the story is that they live underground and that they just come up and every once in a while they act like news anchors.
But listen, I thank you guys. I had fun. Thanks for
Yeah, Raymond, it was super cool talking about
I know
this stuff with
CERN.
you.
I know that people they said that if you read up on the Mandela effect, that when they started, doing projects at CERN, that it created the Mandela effect and all these things. Who knows? Maybe that's what opened the portals to other dimensions. We don't know, but
Things have just felt weird the past year, buddy. Haven't they? Haven't things just felt weird?
Yeah, and I hope that it's leading to something good. I hope it's leading to an enlightenment, a higher evolution. You know what I mean?
Yep. There's just some kind of weird thing going on, man. And I don't know.
Love for it to happen.
I think everybody kind of feels it.
I would
It's just been strange.
I would love to find out more. But anyway,
I think we're in for a ride next year. Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, thanks
so much for having you.
Thank
you so much for coming on the show, man. We love you, Ray.
Good broadcasting with you again, Ray. Thanks for coming on, man.
guys.
Yeah, take care. We'll talk about coming on your network and stuff for sure.
I was going to shout out his show. For everybody who doesn't watch, and I'm sure most people in the chat watch, you can catch that on Ray Lytle's Morning Disaster every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. They have their free shows from 8 to about 9:30. They also have a subscriber show on their Patreon You can hit their Facebook page up for more. There's already some representatives from the show as well, such as Dan.
Morning Disaster.
He's
Throw up a link
also,
in the chat room, somebody too, to
I will
Ray's page.
I'll get the link going for
So
Ray's
everybody,
page.
our listeners, can go check them out for sure, and vice versa. Hopefully, yeah. Thank you everybody for participating, and it was fun having Ray in here because he was our original host, man, and you know. We used to, show videos to Ray, and Ray would be like, "Oh, that's a bunch of bullshit." We'd be like, "Ray, check out this Bigfoot," and he'd be like, that's bullshit." So it's fun bringing him back after kind of UFOs have kind of been proven, and aliens have been proven somewhat real.
I am gonna take him ghost hunting.
Thank you.
I
Adam.
am going to take him either to Waverly Hills Sanitarium. I may take him to the USS Lexington that was brought up in the chat. But I am going to take that man ghost hunting, and I guarantee you 100% before the aliens make contact, I'm taking him, and I'm taking you, and I'm making a believer primarily out of Ray.
Corey, things have been weird since CERN. Corey, things have been really weird since CERN, and strange and different, man. I don't know. They might have tweaked something out. Who knows? Thank you to everyone who's been participating and hanging out tonight. Dan, Corey, Thomas, who else? Just tons of people in here. Joel, Adam, of course, all you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out. Julie and Diane, and super cool. Thank you so much. And DMT will give you all the enlightenment you want. Yeah, it might. You never know. That's another show.
Yeah, go subscribe for $5 on Morning Disaster. That's what. Apparently Thomas's name is not Thomas. It's Puddin. What the hell?
Is that the best way to get to Ray's page? Is on through his Facebook, or does he have a website still, or what's going on there?
Well, Dan has posted that. Dan has
morningdisaster.net.
right there, and
there
this is the Facebook. The link to the Facebook page for Morning Disaster.
Thank
but I would
you.
say what Dan brought up, morningdisaster.net is
.net. That's how you can find Raymond. For everybody who enjoyed him tonight, go check him out because he's got an amazing show. Go subscribe to Ray's show.
Send some love to Steve. I will say this.
Go find out who Steve is. He's amazing.
I will say this, though. If aliens are coming from another dimension, if there's another dimension of people just like us coming into our dimension,
yeah.
If those people can hear us, if you know of a person in your dimension named Steve Stanton, leave him in your dimension. We cannot take two Steve Stantons in our reality. One is enough, and you can ask Dan Swinson or Psycho Dan. He can back it up. One is enough. Keep yours back home.
Steve might be a Bigfoot also. He kind of got that Bigfoot look a little bit, in all the videos. He's kind of got that similar look.
Did I ever tell you the first time I'm going to say this because I know she's probably watching, but did I ever tell you the first time I thought I saw Bigfoot?
No.
It was in the streets of Springfield, but then it turned around and it was Amanda Kluge because she's wearing tank tops and shit.
Oh! What a bump.
I love you, Amanda. She knows I'm joking.
Boom.
Steve, man, into the Stanton verse.
But yeah, that was fun.
It was great. He's got a lot of open insight on it. I'm surprised. He's more interested in the UFO stuff. He's not looking at it as creatures from another dimension. Or creatures from another planet. He's looking at it more like first of all, what is it, as opposed to jump at the conclusion that it's alien.
Yeah, it's fun hearing his opinion because Ray was on AM radio and FM, of course, for years, but he was a legit AM radio newscaster, and he's a very smart man, and so getting his opinions on these topics is pretty cool for sure. He's a radio legend, so let's face it. So that was super cool having him back on. Also, Ray got me into radio. So Ray got me interested in radio and called me up one day and said, "Hey, Rob, you're going to do a radio show." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So I was like, I never did any radio in my life. And he's like, "Don't worry, you'll get the hang of it." you got a great voice, and you're gonna do fine. And he told me what he wanted me to do, and I did it. So there you go.
Right. Also, if you notice, Ray has lost a lot of weight.
He has. He's been
He's lost
training.
a
Yeah,
lot
he's
of weight.
like
If you're listening, I didn't get a chance to say it to him while I was on the air. Ray, if you're
he
listening,
looked great.
keep going.
Yeah,
You look great. Keep
he's
at it.
he's keeps showing all his videos where he's just training every week, and that's amazing. You can do that. It's hard to train that part of your brain to go exercise and do hard things that you don't want to do. And they're finding out now that people who have that ability live longer. Like if you have this ability to just go do things that you hate, that nobody wants to go work out, right? But if you have the ability to go do that and take out 2 hours of your day or an hour to go do that, you live longer because just that action, no matter if it's working out or whatever,
Yep.
doing things that you put off. If you have the ability to like do things and not put them off, that's a very good thing. And they say people like that live longer. So there you go. So
yeah. Hey, but he looks great, man. He looks fantastic. That's for sure.
yeah. So well, yeah, he would have called BS on all this, and now he's read disclosure and he's into it. Yeah, exactly. See, he may have even got a little bored with the topic, and that's why he didn't join us this season. But things heated up when he left, really.
Yeah, he kind of left when it started getting good, and now it's like, oh man, you need to come back here. I'm hoping this year will be just as exciting if he's going to start popping on more often.
Yeah.
I know he's busy watching, the NFC, AFC playoffs, which have been fucking amazing. I love it. Dude, Detroit.
I don't even know what that stands for.
Football.
Oh, okay.
49ers and Green Bay. I thought I was down $50, and San Francisco came back last night. I was like, oh my God, I got $50. Thank God. So,
yeah.
But,
you know me, I'm the most non-sports dude ever. I don't know. I know shit about sports.
I am a connoisseur of many things. I am a nerd.
I know. Like you're either a sports guy or you're not a sports guy. And I can't be friends with sports guys in real life. Like you and I are good friends, right? But I
hope we're good friends. I consider you my friend.
You're one of the exceptions, though. I know you love your sports. You bet everything, and but for me, like in real life, I don't get along with sports guys because they know all their figures and stats, and they're like number 79 at the front line and went down to number 72, and them Bulls and them Bears, and I'm just fucking lost. I don't know what they're talking about at all.
If it's somebody who's not into
sports, not fun for me. It's not fun for them.
If it's somebody who's not into sports, I don't talk about it because I want to come down to your level and talk about what you feel is comfortable.
Yeah, I just have to go.
Like,
oh yeah.
Stuff.
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah. That touchdown was that freaking fumble. Oh boy, that was a heck of a fumble. I have no fucking idea what's going on.
Oh shit! You were the kind of guy I'd sit there and say, "Hey, there's the new God of War movie's coming out. Let's go see it."
And then I'd be like, "Yeah, I saw it 7 times already." But
yeah, so
different. But no, I don't know. I always, I don't know. I think sports are kind of a waste of your life.
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm like Dan. I don't get into the stats and the records, because that kind of gets a little out there. That's like,
yeah, it's funny. Here's something for you to think about. Sports are always a manly thing and about being an American man, and I'm a sporting manly man. But I think being a man is more spending time with your family and other people and doing other things other than sports.
I would agree. I'm not. There's 2 types of men. There's the athletic man and there's the manly man. Manly men are the guys who.
I'm talking about the guy that stays in front of the TV all day long on Sunday and doesn't mess with his family and doesn't leave, and I think that's a waste of your life.
I would rather spend time with my family. If my fiance or somebody say, hey, I want to go see a movie, I want to go for a drive, I'd be like, all right, I'd watch the game on, my updates on my phone, just sports update, but I'd go out,
Mhm.
I'd spend time with them. That's
But I do
my
listen to the stories and appreciate that you bet on some stuff. Tell us about it again. What did you bet on again?
I bet $50 on San Francisco last night, and
Mhm.
I'm sitting there. We were hanging out at a friend's house, and they weren't watching the game, but I had the updates on my
San
phone.
Francisco 49ers?
The 49ers versus the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
It was coming down to the wire. I was sitting there sweating, thinking, "Oh, I'm losing $50 on this," and they came from behind and won it, and I'm like, "Oh my
Wow.
god, I got $50! Thank God!" And then I went and got the money from my buddy's house because we went over to his house to watch the UFC last night. Besides,
To the Mafia's house? Is that where you got to go?
and he's sitting there like,
Don't you got to bet money with the Mafia?
I made a
or something?
beeline right towards him, and no, we just do a private bet. We don't bet like,
Oh, okay. All right. Not
DraftKings
some
or
like,
anything like
I'm
that, yeah.
picturing like some guy that'll come beat you up if you don't pay him.
No, nothing like that.
Some guy named Guido shows up. You want I should take him out, boss?
No, nothing like that. But as soon as I got to my buddy's house last night, I made a beeline right for my my friend. And he's like, "You can't. This is bullshit. They had it." I'm like, "It's not my fault. San Francisco came back from behind and won it."
So, what'd you win?
I won $50.
Okay, all right. But you were going to lose 50 otherwise?
I put $50 that San Francisco would win. He put down $50. He matched it, saying the Green Bay would win, and I won. So
I got you.
now I don't know what's going to happen between San Francisco and I think it's Detroit. Detroit's next. I don't know what's going to happen there, but
like Dan said, I will watch games, and I like going to races and seeing like sports in person a little bit. Although baseball, I don't really want to go. Baseball gets pretty boring after like a couple innings. You're like, okay, they hit the ball, whatever. But football in person is cool, but I can't sit and watch it really on TV for very long. I mean, I'll watch it if it's on and my friends are there. Like I always get forced to watch football by my friends because you go to your friend's house and they're fucking watching football, right? So you're watching it too. So I watch a lot of football at my friends' houses, but I think I don't know.
Go ahead.
I like watching girls tennis and also girls volleyball. That's about it. Anyway, go ahead.
I forgot Adam said this to us earlier, and we just kept,
Beach
the conversation was so fast with everything. But I'm about to share this with you. Adam was wondering, is this similar to the object you saw at your house?
I mean, a little bit, except the ones that I see, the ones that I saw, they're triangles. Well, yeah, those are right there, a little similar. The way they move and stuff, for sure. Yeah. They're all kind of similar, but the ones that I saw were all in triangle right there. See that? That's what I saw.
Yeah, because you showed your photo once when I've seen your photo, and it's like
that right there is what I saw. Those are triangle ships, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, so this kind of phenomenon that you saw here in Illinois has apparently also been spotted in New Jersey, at least.
There's hundreds of videos like this. You can just look up triangle, UFOs with orange lights, orange lights. A lot of them have orange lights, but a lot of them change colors basically. So, yeah, it was pretty wild. I mean, I was in the basement, and my daughter came in and told me, "Hey, there's triangles in the sky, and it's scaring me." And I said, I just kind of blew it off, but then she kind of shook me, and she was like, "Dad, there's orange triangles in the sky, and they're scaring me." And I jumped up then, and I ran upstairs, and that's when we saw them. Everyone in my family saw them. So my daughter's 22 now, and she'll tell you the same thing. She remembers. They were above Lanphier, flying above Lanphier High School, basically all around, because we lived on off of 8th Street, 6th Street, around Lanphier, and they were just floating around, and then they all just kind of went into this portal. There's about 20 of them at first. Another lady in the neighborhood saw them also, and she got pictures too on Facebook, and she was trying to send them to me, and you couldn't. Like their Facebook was blacking them out. It was weird. We were both kind of freaked out by that.
Also, I don't know if you've heard about this one. This is something that was spotted earlier this week. I read about it. This jellyfish UFO that the Pentagon will not comment on, even though they comment on a lot of others. That thing right there. Look at that. What in the hell? And it's flying pretty low to the ground, too. Whatever it is, looks like a jellyfish.
Why jellyfish? I mean, I guess.
The alleged Department of Defense material that may have been leaked. Yeah. Have you ever heard the concept of atmospheric creatures?
So look at what that's being filmed with, some kind of military like site or something, you know.
I don't know.
Obviously. That's pretty wild. See, it's all over regular news now, you know. They're just slowly, you know.
Yes, it's becoming more mainstream that at least one extraterrestrial UFO video pops out.
Although I wouldn't call that piece of shit Elizabeth Vargas real news or anything.
That's just what came up on the article.
Yeah,
so.
She just contributes to the destruction of our society with all her horrible videos she shows every day. She just shows, she's like the new Jerry Springer, really. If you watch her show, it's just like, here's all the fucked up shit that happened in the world today. Boom! Right in your frickin' face. I'd turn her show off a lot, actually. I don't think it's good for you to watch that kind of stuff all the time. Just because it's on the internet doesn't mean you got to watch it, you know. We fill our minds and brains with so much stuff. You have to start being aware of, you know, what you put in your brain and what you watch. And, you know, if you sit around, you know, watching shows about death and destruction and horror movies all the time, and you know that's probably not good for your brain, you know, to just soak that in constantly. You should probably slide in some other kind of movies every once in a while, or TV shows or whatever, you know. Go watch a documentary or something, switch it up, you know. What you put in your you know, in your brain, it's what you are, it's what you become. So I don't know, I think it's important to be aware of turning off fucking trashy shows like Elizabeth Vargas when she comes on, and go watch a nature documentary or something. I don't know.
Or go read a book. There you go.
Go read a book. Go draw a picture. Yeah.
Go watch a sports game.
yeah. Then go outside and walk around barefoot in the grass. You know.
Just not this time of year. You'll get.
Not today though.
Yeah, it's supposed to start
here in
snowing
Illinois
again.
either. Yeah. Bad advice there. So.
Yeah. Well, I've got nothing else to talk about. You want to log off for a night? We are still on the air.
Yep, that's it. You guys.
All right, let's get us out of here.
Thanks for everybody. You late people hanging around still. Appreciate you guys.
You mind if I plug my show too?
Yeah, of course. Where can we find Tyler next?
Hey, I'm going to be on the Best Damn Podcast this Wednesday at 7 p.m. If you missed it last Thursday, we interviewed Peoria's very own Derek Moody, a.k.a. Bloody F Mess, hot off the latest album he's released, Dazed and Unfazed. I'm telling you, I ordered this album. I bought it off of him. It's on its way. This is a kick-ass album. This will probably be one of the first albums I listen to start to finish, front to back, in a long time.
Wow.
It was an honor to have him on. It was an honor to interview the guy, and here's cheers that he has a successful broadcast. But you can catch me on the Best Damn Podcast Wednesday at 7 p.m. till 9 p.m. And then Friday, I will be going back on night shift, which means it'll be Sage's show for the Beer and 420. So unfortunately, this will be the last show I'll be able to do for 2 weeks, and then I'll be back on full time back with you. So
okay.
It's the glory of working night shift, unfortunately.
There you go. Well, we'll see you back in 2 weeks and 3 weeks, I guess, right? And thanks again to Mr. Raymond Lytle. And don't forget to check out morningdisaster.net. Thank you, Raymond. Check out morningdisaster.net, or just look up Morning Disaster on Facebook, or just check out the links below the video and click on it. Go subscribe to Ray, because you'll be happy you did. The content's amazing over there, and the laughs are just nonstop. So go check it out. And we'll see you here on Werid Frequencies again next Sunday, every Sunday at 8 o'clock Central. So There you go.
All right. So long, everybody. Have a good week.
Take care.
Watch those guys. Rush that monkey. Poke
Rush that monkey.
alien, probe that alien.
Probe that alien.
Later, y'all.
Smoke weed with Nessie.
Pass that blunt with the alien, and he'll pass
Yeah.
it to Nessie.